Welcome to my version of a Heroes 2 unit tier list. Okay, so I need to preface this as strongly as possible because there's going to be a lot of potential people that say, oh, this is so wrong, yeah, blah, blah, blah. This list is going to be based on what I feel. Yes, and there's a catapult in there. What I feel is their use case scenario. Do I like to see the unit? Do I feel like the unit is worth it? And it's not necessarily like health, damage, defense, attack. It doesn't necessarily go down to that. It's mostly like my feelings towards the unit, how happy I am to see the unit, and how often I can use the unit. So it's going to be very biased towards that. I'm going to keep repeating similar things like that because it will always be like, that's wrong. Like, I don't give a damn dingus if that's wrong for you, because this is my list. So we have S, A plus, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Right. I have all the layers for the different ones, which are unnamed layers. So this is going to be great for me if I want to change the position of someone later on. Right. Are we ready to begin today's session? And then, you know, see how much you disagree with me. Barely hear the music. Put it up a bit. Right. First unit. I went by alphabetical or the reverse. I can't remember. So I don't even know what's starting here. Yeah, it is. Okay. It is Mr. Air Elemental. So this is a unit that I use. Oh, it's a little laggy because it's a lot of layers. I got like 75 layers or something in this. So it's a little laggy, but we'll get there. We'll get there. It's PaintNet. It's not even Adobe Photoshop or something. That might have been better, but I'm not floating with granola bars. Okay, I can rename some Air Elem. Because now I'm taking my time. When I made the tier lists, like got all these sprites, because I ripped them all one by one, by the way. This looks like not much, but this is actually a little, this is a little effort, because I have to find each different sheet of each enemy, the natural standing post, blah 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 blah, and put them all in there. So yeah, because I didn't use a website or whatever. And even though the tier list sprite sheets are sheets of every sprite that they have. This guy is an interesting one, because I don't really get to use the air elemental a lot. But this guy is the very fast one of them. He's the fastest, the air elemental. He's the one that I usually like to see the most. Decent stats for fighting, but you can't really rely upon recruiting them. How happy am I to see an air elemental? B. B is he gives a vibe of an, I mean, he doesn't deserve to be an A. He might not even deserve to be in B. But he's a lad. He's okay. The usual issue is that you can't stack them well. So even though you're like, oh, good air elemental, that's a decent elemental unit. Problem is that you can never get them in a good quantity. Well, you can summon. You can summon if you have air elemental summoning, then that helps, and they're pretty good. But then summoning might even be better for fire ones. So most likely a lot of these will just fall into their same category. We'll put them in B for now. We'll put you in B. Who's next? Archer? Yeah, I think that this should be like one by one like this now. Archer. Alright. You, Archer. You are annoying and problematic. So the issue with Archer is that he is very slow. Only has 10 health, not 15, I think. He shoots once, while the upgrade shoots twice. I think that's the same for the elves, though. But the general problem is that they die so fast because they're very slow. The orcs are generally slightly better than the archer, because the orcs have a little bit more tankiness to them, even though they're slow as well. They prove to be a little bit more cool. We can even put up the game here. Hold on a second. I didn't make a... Oh, actually, this... Wait, what is this one? Cap. Alright. Let's do straight comparison with their stats here, because they're basic units, right? Blah blah blah. Oh great, I got Duncan's map. 5 attack, 3 defense, 2 to 3 damage, very slow, and health. Right? Do it again. New game, yes sir. Barbarian. And I still get knights because the stupid map. Fantastic. Off to the caves. No, no, no. Actually, less attack on these ones. 3-4 instead of 5-3. So they have this... interesting. So there's only 1 more defense. I always feel like they're way more tanky. 5-3 to 3 and 4. Well, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Orcs are better. I'm gonna put you in D. There's an E and an F. They at least can shoot. Go to D. Stay there. Alright. Next one. Archmage. Elves shoot twice by default. All the basic elves do shoot twice by default. So it is the thing. We can do an instant test. It just makes sense. It's tier 3, I guess, so it makes more sense that they do it. Let's see here. I did it on easy mode. Now we can see for sure. Somebody wants to shoot. Hello? There's a hero. Fantastic. Let's see if they shoot twice. Yeah, they do. So they shoot twice as the elves. They're tier 3 compared to the tier 2 of them, but still much better. Alright. Confirmed. Whoop, there it is. The Archmage, though, they cost 10 more. 10 more? Ah, then they deserve their spot. D is modest. The Archmage is great. So the unit itself is amazing. He can cast randomly this spell, which is not reliable, but it's a thing. He has... I don't think he has any melee penalty to his attack, so he can hit like a giant sack. In terms of when he actually decides to hit people if they're trying to go up. Hey, I'm up close to you. And then he's like, I don't give a shit. They're strong dudes. The problem that I have with Archmages is that it costs a fortune to get them. Because you have to get the Mage Guild for the mages. But you have to get Mage Guild level 2 to get Archmages. I think... So I would love to put them in like a class of A plus. But I don't want to put them there because of their Mage Guild level 2. I think it's a little bit of a prick to do that. So I'm gonna have to demote you from A to B. That's just because I don't like what you're doing with that. Okay, and since I play so much on the impossible, I feel like that's an insult to me as a gamer. So you stay on B, and now everybody's gonna be like, "What do you mean, Archmage on B?" See, already it's already gonna be a trash. Yeah, mere short term, great long term. Yeah, if you can get them built up, they're gonna be great. But that's again where the tier lists of mine comes in, which is like, am I happy to see you? I assume this is the Battle Dwarf. Okay, this guy, he's a sleeper. Battle Dwarf. People might think that this guy is a little bit of a he can just hacky on the dragon. No, why doesn't the dragon? But the thing is, 20 HP. Very tanky tier 2 unit if you can get to the Battle Dwarf. He's a great base defender. So in regular combat stuff, he's not that great, but he's got average speed at least for this dude. So his base defenderness gets him from like C to B, I feel like. I love him though. I would love to put him in A as a dude, but I rarely use it. He's a great situational guy and to stack dwarves, but I rarely use them as much. Do they go in C? I mean, compared to Archmages and Elements, I'm not as happy to see him, you know. They take... I don't know if it's reduced damage from magic, but it's like a 30 or 40% chance to resist magic. So I think it's that only. I'll give him a C. He's only slightly above this guy, which feels a bit weird, but we'll see when the thread comes along. I don't know if they can share. Like I'm usually more happy to see an elemental and having Archmages than having a Battle Dwarf. We might put this guy in E. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about that. I'm not into these. They die so fast. They die so fast, you know. He'll sit there for now. Next up. Oh. Well. Well. My beloved. I can't say much about this one. I can't say everything about this one. He is reliable. He is there for you when you need it. He serves you breakfast in the morning. He is if you have a black dragon, you will most likely win. Magic immune, very fast, a lot of damage, a lot of stats, flying, sexy. He's an S. He's an S. He is an S. Why is this list so long? That is our Black Dragon S tier. There's no question. No question about it. He's an ass. Might need bigger rows. Nah. It's gonna be a little compact. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I do have it on a different layer though, so I could just make it bigger. So, if we need to, I'll do it, but thank you. Hey, Dave. Alright, yeah, so that's our first S, and he deserves to be there. Next up, Boar. Why does it blink so much whenever I do that? Not necessarily. When I save, it does that. Oh, and when I save and then click something new again, it does that. Okay. Well, I'll try not to save so much, and I'm just afraid because, you know, I got a lot of layers and it might crash. But at least then we know where we want to place things, so it's okay. Boar. So, I don't use the boar a lot when I get the option to purchase it. Look at the cutie though. Little red nose. Little red nose weirdo. Cutie. Name is. The nice thing about them is that these are the ones that kind of make it viable to play tower, to play wizard a lot of the time, because you can have something that's very fast movement speed that helps the halflings to not get aggroed, compared to like when you start with battle dwarves as a second, or, you know, zombies and stuff like that. You can at least rely on the boars to get out on the battlefield, and since they're 2 hex, they can even hit a 2 hex other very fast units start of turn. They're not really tanky, but as a tier 2 unit, they do really well. They're pretty okay kind of guys. I don't tend to stack them as a power stack because I tend to lose them a lot. I feel like I'd like to use them a little bit more than the battle dwarf in general, even though I think the battle dwarf is an insanely cool guy and a good base defender. He's not these though. He's not these. But he did, you know, deserve to be lower because of his stupid Mage Guild level 2. So I wanted him there, but he's not allowed to be there. So I do like them more than I like the battle dwarves. I might just push them down a little bit to C, and then him to D. We'll see. How they rate wolves versus boars. We'll get to that when we get to wolves, I guess. Okay. It feels alright. We have nothing in A or A+. We'll get there. Next one is Boner Dragon. Whoops, yep. Boner Boy. The good thing is I think you can skip getting liches. Right? To buy them? Oh wait, no. There was something you can skip. Did you needs? Hold on. That's window cap. Is that right? You can skip the mummy? Let's see here. I know there was something about skips. Let's see here. It does require mausoleum. Oh, you can just go. You can go. Okay, so you can take a shortcut and just skip like pyramid and mansion. So that's why sometimes you can build laboratory early on, Because you can just do a graveyard, mage guild, mausoleum, laboratory, and skip pyramid and mansion. They're not that expensive though. But yeah, the good thing is they're not that expensive to build. They cost the mage guild to build in a way. So if you have general stuff, they do provide a -1 to morale. Which is nice sometimes, but unreliable to kind of plan for. I think they're cool. That's the thing. I'm gonna have to. I like them. They're really cool unit. They are flying. They don't rely on morale themselves, so you can always have them there. And they're cool. Yeah, I might have to make a bigger list. I might have to expand the size of the tier list here. Oh god. Oh, that's too much. I gotta make it a whole bigger. Let's see how much this is better. Okay, we'll see. Replace, everybody, replace. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's okay. When the PC catch fire? Soon enough. That's fine. I guess we have a little bit more room. Hold on. We'll just maximize the roomage. Better we do this now. And you can see how blurry it gets now because I've been resizing it. God damn. All right. Fantastic. So the thing that I really dislike the most about the Boner Dragon is that he's only medium speed. He dies pretty quickly too, 150 HP. I wish he was fast. If he was fast, I would love... Oh wait, this is somebody else. I would love to put this guy in A+. But he's not magic immune. He's medium speed. He would have almost deserved to be in B. But I think he looks awesome. Look at him. Look at this guy. He's a skeleton dragon. Isn't that just amazing? So he goes into A. Is he vulnerable to Dragon Slayer spell? I would assume so. He's a dragon. Okay. We meme tier. I mean, he was in the unit list. This was a unit from the sprite sheet. It's Catapult. Very important. He's a very important dude. F tier? Dude, without a catapult, the knights would have nothing. Always misses? That's true. Yeah, we gotta give him some flag for not shooting the right spot. He's too big. I like that they also use the Heroes 1 catapult. You can see that the sprites are just different. The resize is too big. That looks nice. I mean, he's important. Let's put him in A. It's an important unit. Yeah, if we can shoot with him, that's great, but Catapult has to be at least high. Without the catapult, a lot of these sieges would be impossible. He's operating the catapult. Come on. I'll take it on. You hold it. Hold it. Get. And then it shoots. Milk. It shoots milk. Okay. Looks like we got both of the friends in one group here. And yes, I might have done it by faction. The thing is, like, the sprite sheets that I downloaded were all, like, alphabetical. So that's why we're going alphabetical. Alright? Cavalry. Basic cavalry. I do like a cavalry. They're very fast. They require a lot of wood, but wood isn't usually that uncommon. They don't have the distance to damage thing that they have in Heroes 3, so they're not that cool. I do like the distance to damage, so the further you travel, the more damage they deal. So he's good. He's got 30 HP, I think. And he is a strong lad. I kind of like him. I like to see the cavalry. I do. I feel like he's useful with the very fast movement speed. The 20 wood is a little bit annoying. Is he an A though? Is it B? I mean, I like use him compared to, maybe we put but there's definitely, I think that the upgrade is a lot, it's pretty cheap and a lot better because we get the ultra speed, so it definitely has to go above it. Does it go into A plus though? Not necessarily. No, we put him in A, no in B. But next to a boar, that doesn't work out for me. Okay, we gotta do some arrangements here. We gotta make some arrangements here. Battle Dwarf, you have to commit to going to the D. I'm sorry. I don't feel like the boar should be next to the cavalry. I like the idea, but it's cheap. That's cheap and early. Do I really though? Is this okay for me? Can I live with this? Considering high tier unit, but they're cheap to get to, usually. Boar is early on. He provides similar use cases, except he's not tanky. It's cheap. I think B might be okay, actually. Might be okay here. That's him. Looks out of place. He does, but he's tier 2 unit and he's available. He deserves to be there. He does. Again, this is a tier list not made of necessarily like how cool you are in strength, but how valuable you are to me. He even starts with B. And even the battles dwarf. He's a... So, I think it fits. It fits. He's late in the cycle. He's good, but it's late in the units. You get more boars, you get them early on, you get them to start with the heroes. Yeah, board still deserves to be in B. Centaurs. Could you ask for a weaker range unit? Plus he's asking for trouble because he's 2 hexes. So because he has two stupid, like, grids, it's even harder to protect him. He's like the weakest idiot. Not for the halfling, but I don't like him. So, a range unit that I want to love, but I never feel I can keep them alive. I feel like I never can keep them alive, and they never do enough damage. So I can't really recommend them. Let's see the exact stat differences though, since we're kind of already doing stuff. Compared to the previous ones. So, knowing that Archer and stuff is tier 2, but still, here we go. Attack 3, defense 1. So that, you know, goes to show. 1 to 2 damage. 5 hit points. 5 hit points. I think halflings have 3. No, wait, I think halflings also have 5 and 1 to 3 damage. But at least halflings are 1 hex. Yeah, they just die, man. Highest among tier 1. Here's the deal. No, I don't like him. I don't want... there's, as far as a range unit, I don't feel comfortable with them. I don't feel comfortable with these guys. They're definitely... they have at least average movement speed, so... I feel like they're slightly better than the Archer. But I would love to like them more. So they go in D. D feels correct for the Centaur. Dentar. Dies too fast. Only the expansion pack has the dens where you can recruit them randomly. So at least in the normal game, you can have halfling holes, you have archer lodges or whatever they call them, and you can stack them. Same with the orc huts. But the centaurs didn't have a hut like that until the expansion pack, and then it feels a bit scarce. So yeah, no, they go in D. That's fine. We can live with that. All these birds singing to me. Do you want to swap it? Dirt theme. Let's do yes. A little bit of opera maybe, but you can handle some opera at this point. Who's next? This guy, the champion. Now, this guy is different than the cavalry, right? Because this guy has ultra fast movement speed. The only one of 2 units that has ultra fast movement speed by default. So suddenly, and he's pretty cheap. And I think he even has a 10 health upgrade, or at least 5 health upgrade. So it's a very good improvement from the cavalry. And it's not that expensive. And it's blue. So, these are great. They can allow you to, they're pretty cheap, so you can like put them on your random mule heroes to run around. They tank decently well, and you can always attack something on the first round. Actually, the boars can't do that on the first round because that's heroes 1. These can, if it's hex against hex. With ultra. Blue faster than red. Yeah, lots of units to go. Lots of units to go. As I said, this is probably going to be like a giant segment, so like expect 2 hours. So you have to go into a high one. You're a good unit, man. I like to use you. You're fantastic. I don't know if you're A+. You're definitely A. But he's not a dragon, is he? He'll go in A. At least he's over the cavalry, but I kind of even want to put him in A+. Okay. Next up. A getting crowded. They are getting crowded. Paladin. So this guy. Also need to confirm later on. Does the Crusader have one hit or does it have 2 hits as well? I can't remember. I almost never use Crusader because I never want to waste them for a Paladin. If I can upgrade them. Because the good thing about the Paladins is that they have like the 1 hit, they get countered and they get hit again. Only Crusaders... wait, the basic Crusaders also have 2 hits. Brosader and Paladino, okay. This guy looks iconic. The looks of him is like he's beautiful. He can really hit hard. If he's allowed to. He's a sponge for spells. So you lose a lot of them. But if you can get up close... woo! Double damage to undead. Which is very situational. I don't care for that statistic. It's nice when it happens, but it's just... it's like you have to face undead. So I kind of love this unit, but because he's like the highest tier. And he can die easily for spells. He doesn't deserve to be an A+. You know? But they're very cheap units. They cost like 1,000 to purchase, right? 1,500, 1,000? So they're really cheap to purchase in that regard. All the knight units are kind of cheap as soon as you get them. But 50 health is it 50 in the Heroes 2 as well? Is it 50 in the Heroes 1? 65 here, okay. Still gets a level 3 wisdom. A level 3 spell power lightning bolt. Still kills one of them. You say Paladin is 50. Oh yeah. Oh, this guy's the Crusader. Okay. Okay, Crusader and Paladin. Okay. I mixed them up. I always mix them up. Crusader. This is Crusader. It's like Paladin in the first one. That's the golden. And then this one is Crusader. And then the Paladin is not colored. Yeah, the alphabet is the point, isn't it? So the Paladin still is 50. Oh yeah, that's true. The red, they have like specifically red and blue in terms of their upgrade or not for the knights. Like every unit is red. Archers are red. Yeah, pikemen, swordsmen, everything, yeah. He goes to A. That's fine. No A+. Not allowed. Crusader. Next one. Cyclops. I kind of like to put these generally in the same place. Because I've had this discussion, or this argument, I guess, before about them. It's like, what's the difference between the Cyclops and or like the Barbarians, usually, and the Knights? And in terms of their last tier unit, like this guy has he can attack like the Dragons. He's got a 2-pronged attack, which is great. But their use case is kind of similar. He's fast. He's very fast. So he still needs to get 2 enemies to fight them. But he's got 70 health. Got thick legs. Whew. He doesn't deserve A+. He's a good unit, he's a cool unit, he's not too expensive. He does cost 1 crystal, compared to this guy not costing 1 crystal on their own. But 1 crystal isn't too much. And you can do a lot with them. So compared to their slight cost increase, also very expensive to just buy the place on its own. At least for rock, it takes a while to get there. He's going into A for now. We might switch up something to go to A+, but I know there's some units I want to put in A+ already, so we'll see how, when we get along, how I feel like it. He paralyzes sometimes. But that's also, I can't rely on paralysis to save my Cyclops, right? So whenever I have these different things, just like unicorns, like here's a 20% chance or a 10% chance or whatever it is to apply a status effect. It's like, yeah, but that might not happen. Cyclops only needs 1 building to get. No, Cyclops needs every building to get. You have to get the troll bridge to get the Cyclops. Which the troll bridge needs everything else from before. They only need 1 building? Oh, right. Oh, that's true. That's true. But the upgrade to... that still it costs a chunk, because it's like the amount of... I mean, Knights usually use more wood, and then the Barbarians use more rock. But it's also 10 more rock compared to 20 wood you need for the Paladins. So the Paladins need for their cathedral 20 wood and 20 crystal, right? I just played the first one. I'm confused. I shouldn't have played Heroes 1. I shouldn't have played Heroes 1. Now I'm confused. Let's see. Can you see the price of this? Hold on. Yeah. I just played Heroes 1, so I might be confused. Let's double check. No, it is 2020. And you can also just skip the jousting arena to go straight to Cathedral. So Cyclops need trolls, and trolls need 20 rock to get to. Meanwhile, they can kind of just skip the jousting completely and just go direct in Cathedral. And this is important because this is 20 more wood. And then the upgrade from Cathedral is not that expensive. I think you just need 5 crystal. Maybe 10. At least less. Too much opera. Let's change. Too much opera. Millennium Edition music? Sandland Barbarian. What the hell is this? What's Millennium Edition music? Oh, I don't know about this. Okay. Cyclopeans is the plural, not Cyclops. Cyclopeans. Upgrade features 5k gold. 10 with. Oh, it is 10 crystal, okay. I like him. But I like these are more accessible and less expensive. I would say that potentially the Cyclops is slightly better, but at the same time, these guys got 2 attack. If you want to kill a power stack, Crusaders are your guy. If anything, they could even go lower. What is this music? Next, I'll do some rearrangements when we get along, most likely. But I'll have to get like a baseline. Druids. Now, unfortunately, druids are a little... You have to get the mage guild first, but that's not too much of a requirement. They hit hard. They're really good. I love their archery. I also like the finger pose like this. Hey. Ooh. They're great. They offer a lot to the sorceress faction as a ranger. What is this music? Crazy. I'm happy to see them. Not too happy. They go in B. They deserve to be around here. Their use cases are similar. He's super strong, but because of the mage guild too, he goes down there. I feel like I'm slightly more into seeing druids than I am seeing air elementals now. But for now, B feels like it's a fine position for the druids to be in. The druids. Ah, the dwarf. We discussed the battle dwarf. The dwarf kind of falls into a similar position. In a way, it actually is kind of the same thing. The one biggest problem with the dwarves compared to the battle dwarves. Oh, I didn't recognize this before, but their horns are actually smaller. I didn't know that. You see them side by side like that. They got them slightly longer horns. So usually I'd like to put these in. I almost want to put them in the same tier because they do provide the same style. They both got 20 HP. But he's got the battle dwarf is average movement speed, while this guy's very slow. So the double movement speed upgrade here makes them a lot more viable to run around. But usually you'd still most likely use them for a base defense. And then these guys are cheaper. So they do kind of fall into the same category still. I think they deserve to be in the same space. And then that's where my argument is important here, because people will say that, but clearly he's better than him. Yes. But it costs more to get him, then you'd still most likely get the same use case of a regular dwarf anyway, without having to worry about upgrades and more costs. So he served the same kind of thing. He goes into sea. He might, if he was a slightly faster, he might have been a B guy. But he's not. He's a C. Alright. The twins. Well, one's got a bigger horn. Earth Golem. Now, similar to Air Elemental, he's a tanky beast. But when you find this guy out in the wild, he's a slow dude. He's got slow movement speed. So I can't put them in the same category as B. Air Elementals I can use for their very fast movement speed. They can be efficient. These guys are great if you have summon. If you got summon Earth Elementals, they're pretty good because they're the most tankiest of the bunch. But slow movement speeds, I don't like to see them. Use case scenarios are good, but they're not the regular golems. You can't rely on them stacking them to get them out in the wild. I almost want to put them in D, to be honest. Thing is, yeah, I'm not excited when I see an Earth Golem, you know? He's good, but then you have to fight him in the wild or have a level 5 spell thing. You could have easily had some other things and be fine with it. He's going into D. Fuck it. He's going into D. I'm sorry, man, but I don't really care to see you. I know that sounds rude. I don't know, maybe it is rude. They're my kid. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta be honest. Let me get some coffee. They don't have vulnerabilities. Easily exploitable, though. Air, water, fire, easy spells to kill. But the computer doesn't do that. I don't play PvP. The computer doesn't look at the weaknesses and use the weaknesses. The computer uses a spell he wants to use. So, that doesn't really matter much to me. Earth is good once you've lost all your high quality units. That's the thing. That's why he's good as a summon Earth Elemental. Oh, I'm back on the coffee train. Oh, hell yeah. I'm coffeeing it up. I'm like, I probably shouldn't do it as much as I'm doing if I want to kind of keep to make sure that I'm not relying on caffeine. But it's okay. It's good. It's coffee. Hey, Marto. Yeah, daylight savings. I chose to actually, for the daylight savings stuff. So, because I was like, oh, as I said earlier, I was a little bit bloated and uncomfortable. And it was getting late. And I realized, like, oh, I haven't gone to sleep yet. And then, like, oh, the DST, daylight savings time is happening. So I get 1 hour less of sleep even. So I just said, nope. So I am I'm effectively going live at 8 AM today. So I did sleep an hour more. But for those who already passed into the daylight savings time almost a month ago, this will be the same starting time it's been for that moment. So I just pushed it an hour and hold, because let's be honest as well, Europe, it's Sunday and it affects most of the people in Europe if I change my starting time. Do you think a lot of people are up on Sunday for Europeans? Some of you probably, but probably didn't matter too much. I am. I appreciate that. Yeah, now it's the same thing for me too. 9 AM. So I started 8 instead of my usual 7. Alright. Earth went into D. Sorry. Elves. Green eyes, by the way. I didn't notice that until now. Does it look weird if we change it to white? That's too much. They got a little jaundice going on, though. That's unfortunate. Elves shoot twice, we confirm this. Your EU as well, Tunnel. Get less sleep, yeah. So they got 2 shots. They're pretty easy to get. And they are average speed. Use case scenario, pretty big. Like to see these guys. I think they go into... I mean, compared to the druids, I feel like they're slightly better for me. Go into A as well. Because you have to get a mage good before these guys. They still hit twice. They're a little bit weaker, of course. But the Grand Elves are very fast speed and they're fucking fantastic. Because of the early start and range unit. I feel like we should have... It's pretty easy to get. I'll put him in B. I'll put him in B. It feels like an A though. You know what? I think I've changed my mind about these guys. Again, use case scenario. Okay? I feel the ultra fast movement speed and the cheapness is huge for the overall float. And you can always guarantee going first. Yeah, I like A+. That feels better for me. Oh. Why didn't you move? Yeah. Right. All right. That feels okay. Feels alright to me. It's looking kind of nice. We're getting some more units. So it's not a decently spread, but A and B is pretty popular. But usually because most units are designed to be slightly balanced. To work, you know? Who's this guy? Was that the elf? It was. Elf. Okay, I need to change this singing music. Okay. Fine, I'm gonna get more singing though. Fire golems, they got average movement speed, I think, right? Because water is the one that has fast movement speed. Correct me if I'm wrong. These are not as interesting to me as the haste ones, but at least they're not as slow to collect and to pick up as earth ones. Oh shit, I just zoomed into my desktop. Yeah. Fire's fast on earth but slower than water, yeah. So they got average and then water has fast. So compared to the differences, the weakness is there. Also, they're just the exact same sprite. I mean, most of these are pretty cheaply made in the expansion pack dudes, right? but I just want to make sure that these guys are dissed a little bit. Water's averages, fire is fast. Okay. I don't think it will matter to me. I think that for me, they go in the same category. I feel like I want him in C. And him in the B. He might still be too high, elementals. This feels okay. This feels okay. A little bit of a... Oh, hello. A little bit of a difference. I don't feel like maybe elemental should be B. I'm still happy to see them, but then again, I don't want to put these all down to E. Look at this guy. He's not that bad. Like, I could take the elemental down here and put these two down together. And then kind of like, even though I like maybe this guy more, they're still part of the D tier. There? I mean, it's okay, right? It's kind of the same for me. He's a little bit better than them. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I'll take this. It feels a little bit like, considering what we're putting in here, like a cavalry to an elemental. I like a cavalry more. I just think he's acceptable. So yeah, see, D tier. He's gonna have some air farts. There's a lot of them too. He's built of just bloat. Alright. That was magma golem. Magma elemental or just fire elemental? Just made of magma. Oh yeah, the gargoyles. Oh, the gargoyles. These guys are fucking taps. These guys are taps, man. As a tier 2 unit, you start with them. They got flying, they got good defense skill, 15 health. They can tank a lot. These guys save warlocks and they protect the centaurs, the weak-ass stupid centaurs. I love these units and they're very fast. Allows for so good muling early on. They are incredibly good. Varied use case. You can jump in to focus fire on the enemies. You can use them to bait out melee directions. You get a lot of them as well. These guys are fucking great. So these guys go straight into A+ at least. Gargoyles. Mwah. Great stuff. They're not dragons, but A+, I definitely think their use case is insane. So, they go there. They don't have a lot of damage output, but they're not there to deal damage. They're there to tank and to be in the way of the enemy, and also provides at the same time you get all the mule business. Which is, in a way, even more insane, because as a warlock, you have increased scouting. So you start with the warlock, you start with the gargoyle and the warlock, and you can just scout the map as quickly as you can. So a gargoyle, easily High class. He's even got some biceps going on. Look at that. Even going to the gym. The pecs. I can see the pecs. I can appreciate the package. So we're gonna put him there. A+. That feels justified for me. I like that. He's a good bean. Alright, assholes. Time for assholes. I hate a genie just because of the RNG of halving your stack. But that also goes for you, of course. Hey, Jones T, Sarek, everybody that I didn't say hello to, welcome in. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Gargoyle compared with Boar is like, but the Boar can't reach the enemy shooters. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's an A+ and not a B. How many hacking units are there? 66, I think. This is gonna take more than 2 hours, isn't it? Oh god, it's gonna take forever. Shh. It's okay, I'm gonna stream forever today. Don't worry about it. Genies. Great units, if you can find them early on. And very fast, flying. And what is that? Modest Mouse, 10 gifted subs.
You're really a spaceball. You know that, don't you?
You know that. Thank you so much, Modest Mouse, for 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Big subbage. Thank you. That's not very modest. This is a great amount. In normal. Thank you so much, Modest Mouse, for 10 gifted. That's a big one. Appreciate support. Dr. Boo with 5.
Thanks for the gas, Yogurt. You're welcome.
Guys, appreciate that. Thank you so much. I like your style, Dr. Boo. I like your style too. Thank you so much, Modest Mouse and Dr. Boo, for 10 for Modest and 5 for Dr. Boo. Appreciate that. Let's make this segment even longer than it needs to be.
I make a pretty good living.
And thank you for the sub, Happy Camper. Anyways, genies. Genies are great. You can't rely on getting them, because the only place you can get them is in magic lamps. So it's hard to stack for them. But am I happy when I see a genie? Yes. Is it hard to play against? Yes, but he even has a good use case outside of having a stack, because he has the potential of having a stack. They're super cheap as well when you find them. Compared to how cheap they are and what they could do for you flying, I feel like they deserve to be there. You will take them back depending on where I put the peasants. Okay. Noted. Hey, Toegio. I think I can safely put them in A+.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarek, for the gifts to Cut. Appreciate that. There it is, the train. It is. You got those peasant emos, Tunnel? From Kelvin's Coin. Oh, that was the guy that also did a tier list, wasn't it? Uh-oh. Ghosts. They don't deserve to be on the list. They're insane. Ghosts can, as soon as they kill one stack, they get stronger. So they go above S, but they're also haunted and fucked, so they go like, and they take over S, and they're like, "Bleh." So they go in this tier, which is off the grid, but still S or on top of S. I think that looks good to me. Yeah, S plus stands for spooky. The plus spook. Okay, that feels good. Oh, okay. I have a lot of animosity towards these guys. I have a lot to say about you dudes. These guys. I want to do this when I look at the giants. I want to put my arms in the cross and look at them and say like, really? They are incredibly expensive to get to. And what you end up with is an average speed melee unit with no double hex attack, no double attack. An asshole that costs way too much money. I hate you. E tier. He's an E. It's the stupid. He's a stupid unit. He doesn't work. He doesn't deserve. Yeah, he's an E. Fuck him. You can use them every so often as oh, good, I can use this to take on some small stacks while you wait. You won't fit the box. They have the potential to become titans. That's not allowed. They're not allowed to have that. No, they deserve. They go in E. Remember, this is my list, where this is very biased of my emotions. Use case scenario. Value. Don't deserve to be higher than E. You're a disgrace to the highest tier units. And they're bugged. So if you yeah, even more so. They're bugged. So if you buy a giant, guess what? To upgrade to Titan. It costs more to upgrade a giant to a Titan than it is to buy a Titan straight out. What are these new emotes in the hype train? Oh, they got new emotes. Chat. Sub so I can get new emotes. There's one at level 111. Could you get that one for me? No, the hype train was over? No, I asked you to sub. Well, thank you for the support. We got a hat. An actual queen. That's me. That's a cute one. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even be like... I could have even done this with the giants. I wouldn't even feel bad. I could just put him in F. But I mean, the archers have a more use case. Fuck it, we'll put him in F. There you go. Suck it. Because of the last, yeah, step on him, Archer. Yeah, step on him. You suck. You suck. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Because if you do decide to buy them, you can't even upgrade to a Titan fairly. So even so, if basically if you commit to giants, you commit to being stupid. You know? Oh man. All right, that was good. I felt that was cathartic. That was cathartic. To be angry at the giants, that felt good. Wait, who's this? Oh. We're not even fucking... Oh god. It's gonna take forever. Goblins. Super weak unit. Similar to the peasants. They can hit good. If they are allowed to hit. But usually they struggle to get... You have a goblin hut sometimes, so you can like stack them. You tend to get a lot of goblins for each barbarian hero. Goblin, decent. Everybody in chat is decent. It's good if you get it for free, exactly. But even then, you have to pay more for Titan upgrade. You know. As a tier 1 unit, they're not the worst. Or are they? C or D?
What, do you poop money?
Oh, Blob!
Dare Blob has just tipped $21.75. No sub for you.
How rude of you not to support me. Dare Blob, how dare you not support me? Now I will have to buy some sort of pizza for that not sub money you bought me. Thank you so much for the support, Dare Blob. Appreciate that. D? Yeah, D. They die very fast. It's not easy to stack them up. Not a good power stack. You could, but I don't like goblins. I don't feel safe with goblins. I don't like seeing them. Their value is okay, but yeah, they're less worth than dwarves because dwarves have a better use case scenario. They're tanky. Like you can legitimately just have, and since you get dwarves also as a starter unit tier 2 for a lot of heroes, you can stack dwarves pretty easily, and they're quite tanky to do some fights for you. Goblins have average speed and they're okay, but very fragile, and they're similar, but I don't know, 3 health, right? Weak. Putting them in the the Grand Elf. Grand Elf. Very fast archer. Shoots hard, is an angry lad. Like him a lot. I don't know if he goes to A+. Definitely goes into A. Better than this guy because of the 2 increased movement speeds. It's a big deal. It doesn't cost a lot to get to. I do think you have to buy... Can you just buy directly after the... or do you have to buy the druids first before you can buy the upgrade? No? You don't need to do that, right? Let's see here. You do need druids, okay. So, that's slightly unfortunate. It's not too bad though, because then you'd have to get like Mage Guild Stonehenge and then to upgrade them. Maybe that's the difference between an A plus and an A. A feels okay. They're great. Great druids. I have an issue with great druids. They are usually not worth upgrading unless you're already rich. Most of their stats are the same for druids, but you need a level 2 mage guild for this one. They're very fast, but compared to regular druids, they don't really provide a lot more for the extra value. If you can get them, they're very fast, and I think they have more attack as well. Helps. But if you're scrounging for cash, just stick to regular druids. You're not gonna miss too much out on it. What is good as a sorceress to fight, like when you're starting to conquer, it is important to use the ranged to your advantage, so you can like start every fight with just like pew 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 shooting down. So speed is important, but compared to the cost and the differences between the two, to get the mage guild first, I feel like he deserves to be in B and not A, which is this guy. You think the Cyclops should be lower? No, he's important for the barbarian success, I think. I think he's still good. I think the Cyclops is fine on an A tier. And he's got 2 hex attack, which is rare and can still be used quite well. I think he still is a good unit and deserves to be an A. I feel like I want to use him when I get him. He's got the same issues with the Crusader, which is like, can I please siege faster? But at least he's alright, he's alright. Green Dragon. Green Dragon. Gotta change tracks. Too much singing. Oh god, what is this picture? It's like AI. Is this like... No, it's 8 years ago. It might still be AI, I guess. Or did actually somebody make this art? Let's go back to some... No, we'll just do this for a while, that's fine. So, compared to the Black Dragon, the biggest issue with this guy is that he's got average speed. And that actually is quite of an impact. I think all dragons should go to S in a way, but the slightly weaker dragon and the average move speed, even though they are immune, they're super good units. It's hard to justify an A+, because you still like love a dragon. You love a dragon. I don't know, man. The good thing about the red dragons is that you also get red dragons from the Dragon Utopias. So you can kind of just stick to red dragons and they have fast movement speed. I feel like I want to do this, and then when we get to red dragons, we're going to put red dragons into S as well. A gargoyle behind the genie? Yes, it is. So again, I'll reiterate, this is a list based on use case scenarios and my personal feel of value to a unit. Gargoyles are there because they have an insane value for early on and can get you going so fast, so they deserve to be A+. I would even venture to say that they're S tier, because their use So the use case as a tier 2 unit to start off with is so great. Could do that maybe to piss people off anyway. Put them into S tier. I mean, they are really that important though, compared to a champion. Let's do it. Let's be fair. Let's be fair here. Okay, I didn't label the Gargoyles. Where? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's do it. It goes into S. That's right. Okay, you gotta stop. I'm out of singing right now. We gotta just do some regular. There. A+, and we're gonna put the red dragon into S, I think. Alright. And warlocks are winning a unit tier list. No shit. No shit they are. Griffins. Oh, I got them with the closed eyes. Sorry. I got the wrong. I think they have eyes on their normal. Spread them out a bit more. You got all the space. You say that. You say that I got all the space. Look at this. Look at how thickly I got them all placed there. Nah, man. Griffin's about to sneeze. Blind Griffin goes into E. Yeah, he's already cast blind on him. So Griffins are... They don't require any resource other than gold to get. Similar to rocks, they're really approachable. Infinite counterattacks. Great units. Love to see them, love to use them. I think they go into A. Yeah, they fit into A pretty well. I mean, maybe they do die. They're not really that important though, are they? They cost much. The Gargoyles is better than that. B or A, so it feels to me. I mean, I'm happy to have a Grand Elf that I have to have a Griffin, I guess. I guess B could be fine. A Griffin. Today you ate a large pizza and drank 2 liters of Coca-Cola. Now that is amazing now, Hannah Cole. Now I wish you can do that every day. I kind of wanted to put them in A, but they'll go in B. They're fine. They're cheap and strong and goods, but yeah. You can't rely on keeping them forever to fight because they're not that HP. Okay. Fitzbone. Halflings. Wait, that was Griffin. Griffin. Gonna save now. Blinkies? Blinkies? Blinkies. Okay, good. Now. Halflings. Incredibly vulnerable range unit. He's got a nice rock with him. And then he can throw many rocks with his sling. Compared to a centaur that I put into D, you have the halfling holes. They are very vulnerable, so it's kind of hates me to use them. I think that I like them more than centaurs. Look at their feet. Ew. I'll put them into C. Nothing higher. I'm always uncomfortable I'm always uncomfortable with using halflings, you know? Definitely a lot better with these guys. He'll stay in C above the Centaur. Centaur just wants to die as fast as possible. In my opinion, the halfling does the same, but you tend to get way more halflings than you get centaurs. And then there's the halfling hall. This only has the expansion pack dens to get, so this one's more likely to get used. He's going in C. And it's got 1 to 3 damage compared to Centaur's 1 to 2, right? So it's, if you bless them, they're even better. But still not as comfortable as elves, so. The Golem. This goes into the same category as the Battle Dwarves, in my opinion. They're tier 3 compared to tier 2, but they're equally stronger. Their use case isn't that great, but you can definitely use them as a base defender. So the same argument kind of goes for these guys. Not the best to use on the field. They can tank a lot, but they can definitely base defend. So put them in C. Put them in C. Hydra. Okay. I love Hydra. Hydra is cool. Love a good Hydra attack. But compared to Heroes 1, the field is so big. Teleport Hydra is insane, but first of all, level 3 mage spell is one of the rarest like gets you can have for spells, because there's a decent chunk of level 3 spells, but a very few to get by getting mage guilds. You can almost never rely on getting teleport. So, and it's a combination thing. They're great base defenders. If you can put them in the perfect scenario, but with a no counterattack, they do a shit ton of stuff. 75 health, no counterattack. Definitely better than the golems. B tier, A tier. They just like, how many times, if you don't have the spells, they just sit there. They're very slow. C is Castle Defender tier plus Halfling. I think Castle Defender tier is an automatic C though. That's the thing. Like if I don't like the units, which I don't really like the Golem that much. It's good that he has like elemental protection, but if you're a good Castle Defender, you're automatically good for something. Does it feel right though when I think about it? The archer here. Why is he this? He's better. He goes into centaurs, I think. Centaur tier. They're not that bad. I kind of like the centaurs less. So at least that should be there. The very slow is annoying. I don't know. The very slow is annoying and they get them killed really fast. There's still range. Okay, fine. There's still range, I guess. And they could have archer huts. Those cabins as well. So maybe... No ease so far. Yeah, you take that, you stupid giant. Stay in there. But that's the thing. These are not Castle Defender tier. Just a chat member said C is that. So, sorry for not doing that, but that's chat room saying so. That's not my word, that's their words. Alright, so that was Hydra. We'll keep Hydra in B. Definitely one of the more... He's versatile because he doesn't necessarily need to be Castle Defender, but he's an insanely good Castle Defender. Yeah, going to B. Going to B. Hydra. I put chat into C tier. I'll go into F. Liches. Expensive. Very expensive. The only range unit for Necros. I tend to not like to use them because they're begging to get killed. And they cost a lot to have. I always lose them. As a Necro, you'd like to have some range units to kind of maybe just to bait out, but using Liches as a bait out technique is tough. They got this cool AoE attack, but it's a lot of times it's hard to even set up properly. Am I happy to see a Lich? Not necessarily. E for evil deer. Every evil unit goes into E. He's not a worthless unit though. He's definitely not an A. I think that is fair. I do like a Hydra more than I like a Lich in general. But at the same time, if I bring, how many times do I bring a Hydra with me on my expeditions? Hydras kind of suck for expeditions. So they have their negative sides too. We'll put him in there for now. Alright, next guy. Mage. He still needs a mage guild before we can buy him. I need like the last tier. It takes a long time to get to. But he's not as of an asshole compared to the Archmage. I think it's a little bit late in the chain to have a mage to be that viable, and you don't get that many of them at the same time. I'm gonna stick him to B. Similar to the Archmage. Archmage is better, but the cost of it is so much. I feel like they deserve to be friends in the same tier. If this was like, if the mage was like one tier lower, so we'd get him faster, maybe that would be easier. But since it's the next to the last one, it feels a bit, oof. Bit late to get mages, isn't it? They die pretty quickly. Like, halflings die too fast, and then the mages are up next, so. Alright. Next is... Why is he after... What's M? He's swordsman. What is he called? For M. Mega swordsman. What? Why is he an M? Middle-aged swordsman. Master swordsman. Ah. That's okay. This guy's just cool. I love swordsmen. I love their art. They're just basic dudes with sword and board. I love sword and board. I'm a sucker for it. Hey, Son Goku. King Pluto. Mr. Swordsman. They really do a good job, swordsmen. They do a great job in Heroes 1. And they have fast movement speed here, so they can get across the field in 2 turns, which is good. And they're pretty strong. You can get a decent number of these guys. Doesn't cost too much to get the upgrade. Decent use case. B? B? Yeah. Yeah, he's fine. He can also base defend quite well. Medusa. They deserve their own tier. Medusas are strong. They're a little bit expensive to find on the field. I tend to not like to buy them because on their own they can't do too much. You have to kind of stack them up a bit. They're going to be a different tier of units being sand. So there's sand, neutral units. They are strong. They have the blinds. I almost never buy them. I think they might deserve to be in B tier. Because if you can stack them, they're quite efficient. Average movement speed is a bit slow. But they get to C because of... They go to C. They annoy me, but they're... So, sorry, man. So what kind of bra? Is it a clamshell bra? This is... Wait. I don't know. Who's next? Minotauro. Minowator. Average movement speed. Decent guy. He's one of the most basic units and heroes you can get. Just an average guy with an axe. Moves melee, he's slow, he's chill, he's calm. Am I excited to use him? No. Is he alright to use? He's okay. He's a dingus. He's alright. Nothing special, nothing horrible. Slap yourself into C. Minotaur King. This guy's very fast. And he's even stronger. He does what Minotaur does quite a lot better without an insane upgrade cost. Giving him A is a little bit generous, I feel. But it is very nice. He's a very strong unit. Like, comparing the swordsman to the Minotaur Kings, which is essentially the same tier of unit, the Minotaur King is gonna win. Same cost as Ogre Lord. Yeah, they're pretty much the same units. But the Ogre Lord's slower. But Ogre Lord's a slightly tankier one, isn't it? The problem with the Ogre Lord is average movement speed. No, he won't be able to. He's not a Burger King. He's a glute king. King of the glutes. Another B, another A. I'm wondering if I want to put them in A. He hits really hard. You can definitely have a good use case for a Minotaur setup. B plus. Let's put him in A for now. Let's spread it out a bit. Give him some credits. Where credit is due. It's a weak A though, but I'm not going to start putting him in here. I could have more tiers, but I think if I give myself too many tiers, it also make me a coward. This is the rule of averages, though. Look at this. It's all coming in the center. It's like throwing 3d6 dice. They will most likely be this. Alright. Next one. Mummy. Mummy, mummy, mummy. You serve a basic purpose. You don't fit well into much. Very boring. The curse is good, but also RNG based. Not anything higher than the C. Almost a D. Let's just slap it into C as a neutral sort of thing. It's too slow. And it's average. It's not that bad. It's the same as this Minotaur. You know, it's just a regular ass, most basic unit ever. At least you can curse. Can upgrade a mummy curse? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Somebody can confirm or deny, but I'm pretty sure they can curse. Same cost as Battle Dwarf and Veteran Pikeman. Veteran Pikeman. But they're alright. They're just alright. They're like close to being a D. It's okay. It's okay. Who's next? Speaking of Necros, mutate the zombie. I hate using these. I hate buying them. They still have 20 health. They have the kind of same style as a dwarf, but for some reason, why do I feel like they're so much weaker than a dwarf? Why do I feel, I have this idea in my mind that they're not comparable to a battle dwarf? They don't compare, do they? They're weak. At least the battle dwarves provide some sort of potential spell immunity towards the morale bonuses. I mean, they probably have a slightly more defense as the battle dwarves as well. Let's see here. Wait. Oh, tavern. Do you need? Well. They stink. That's true with the bugs. That doesn't help. So 6 and 6 attack and defense, 2 to 4, right? 6 and 6. Wait. Yeah, so that's the reason why. 2 defense. 5. So they even got 1 less attack. 2 defense. 2 to 3. 20. Fucking useless. Get out of here. You don't use them for much. don't like to see them. Too low in defense for having just a fighter unit like that. I really don't care to see them, to be honest. Yeah, and there's no, like with dwarves, you can still find like dwarf cottages. You can't find anything for zombies to stack either, and they don't have the potential spell defense. Yeah, they go into the E. Nomads. Nomads, they're really cool to find. They're very fast movement speed. They die pretty easily. But they can be a nice use case scenario for roaming around the desert. They're a delight. Usually I buy them if I find them. They don't cost much. They usually make me decently okay. I'll put them in A. Yeah, they're a good unit. They can help you out in the beginning if you find them, and they can usually have a decent growth in the nomad camps. Pretty fine. Why did I go twice? Oh, is that still the alert Twitch thing? It shouldn't be that loud. Ah, whatever. Thank you, Tunnel, for the 100 bits. Nomad walk sound as heavily. I can't remember. Thank you for the 100 bits, though. Alright. I was gonna say, like, why do I have two of the same ogres here? But they have just slight hue differences. Look at them. And then the axe, of course. Other than that, they're like identical. It's like the boots have gold. And then this has gold. This is the laziest upgrade. Look at that. Ogres. Ogres. They are great defenders of the castle. So they automatically go into sea. We've decided this already. So they automatically go into sea. They're very slow. A little bit high up the tier. Fast dudes. You know, looking at this, I'm gonna put the mummies. I'm gonna put the mummies down to D tier. Fuck it. I don't know. Fuck, let's just do that. Committing. Committing. Don't use mummies a lot. These guys are automatically pretty good base defenders. Can use them in the pinch. Don't necessarily want to walk around with them. But, yeah. Strong as nails. Big health pool. Decent. Next one is, of course, Ogre Lords. Now, these guys suddenly have average movement speed. And you can actually use them a little bit more on the field. They don't cost as much, I think, to use as an upgraded one, so I'm going to put them into B. Because these are actually something you can consider using more on the field as well. So it feels like a decent B for the Ogre Lords. Yeah, it's starting to look some good. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at that. We got some spread. We got some spread. The fucking ghost. Ah! Catapult. Alright, I'll take a short break. They can also get healed for upgrades. That's true. That's something. So yeah, they're pretty good. I'm pretty okay using a Ogre Lord, so that definitely goes into B tier. I'll probably yeah, they're fine. I'm gonna take a short break. This has already taken 2 hours, and we're halfway. So we'll do the next bit, then we'll do the rest of it in one go, and then after that, then we'll do the Shuffle-thon for Sega Genesis. Okay. So the Shuffle-thon, for those who don't know, is basically start with one game, and then as we get for each 10 subs, we vote for a new random game to be added to the pool of randomized games that randomize from an interval of 2 seconds to was it 3 minutes, 5 minutes? 5 minutes. 3 seconds to 5 minutes, I think it is. Maybe I should lower. I don't know. We'll see. And but that'll be after this one. For now, I'll be right back. I'll see you guys in a moment. You can watch the clippies. Oh, whoa! Whoa! Hey, Stacker. Welcome to the stream. We're good. Zelda's Adventure. Ah, how we miss it. We're good. It's so good. It's so good. Let's continue. Orcs. Orcasa. You can find the orcs. They're slow, which is annoying. But they're decent. One more defense than the archers, but now we realize the archers are not that different from them. In any case, but for I don't know. I want to kind of put them up. I don't know why. It feels like I always felt like he was a better than an archer. But it might have been a fallacy for all this time. Yeah, the dump trucks orc in Heroes 1 is they scaled it down a bit. I feel like I'm a hypocrite if I put him in C and keep the archer at B. You know? I'll do that. It's fine. I still like to use them though. I still like to use these guys too. It's kind of weird. Because there's still range. Range should also have an automatic better time. Maybe I should put the others in C as well, after all. Ranged on its own is pretty good. But they do get a lot of aggro. And being very slow doesn't help them. I'm just gonna keep it simple for now. I'm just gonna do that. It's okay, it's okay. They have use case, they have plus and minus, it's okay. They're still annoying, very slow. Archer, very slow. That annoys me, because they can't shoot until there's... Oh, now I'm up close with another guy. They go there. Next one. These guys, even tankier orcs. Orc chief. They don't shoot twice though, compared to a lot of other upgrades. So definitely better than the regular orc as a use case. You can get him pretty early on. I think that we can put them in C fairly well. And that's a good thing about archers for the barbarian side, because they can tank a lot, they will take some aggro, but they will be lost slowly. But then again, I'm looking at Lich compared to Orc Chief, and I feel that's unjust. That's like unjustified. I pretty much like to use the Orc Chiefs as much or more than I like to have the Liches around. I think we're gonna have to bone the Lich. It's either boning the Lich or putting him in B. You know what? I can put him in B, that's fair. Same with these guys. At least he can tank pretty well. Just slow, it still annoys me. Keep it. Move on. We need to move on. We can't just like, I can't just be super just, okay. Halfway. Or something. I don't know exactly how many there are in each row here, but now for the Paladin. Similar to Crusader, of course. But I feel that them being slightly weaker down to 50, which is a spell power 2 lightning bolts problem as well, and having only fast movement speeds, considering that you should just get the upgrade to Crusaders, they don't feel like you should use them like that. In a pinch you could, but I feel it's wasting. It's wasting what's your potential. So if I use that justification, it's almost like I should put them here. Like, again, remember, this is use case value scenario stuff. But because if you use these guys, you're risking losing them before you get the Crusaders done. There's a lot of B. There's a lot of B, man. But it fits. Because B is justified. B is like, does this unit feel worth it as like the intention? So having B it makes a lot of sense. A unit that feels like it fits its intention. Big surprise for you is the Gargoyle. I was initially putting them in A+, but the reasoning for the Gargoyle is because... again, I'll keep it short because I've explained it twice now, but... You get them as a base unit. Very fast, pretty tanky. You can use them well against archers, use them well against manipulating melee movement speed on the battlefield. They can use them as scouting, so they're very fast, so you can use it as mules. Also, it's on warlocks usually, which means also warlocks have already advanced scouting, so you can get a really good advantage on scouting in general. You can get a lot of them. So they're just, the use case of the Gargoyles are so good. That's why they get to, they're allowed to be at S. And this is based on like a use case value scenario, and Gargoyles are extremely valuable, so. So you know what, I'm gonna use my same term like reasoning and put Paladins into C. Because I feel like if you're using Paladins, you're potentially wasting your potential. So I don't like to use them. Try to get Crusaders instead and use them for what they are. Even though they're volatile. They're dangerous to use. You're risking 50 health guy for even more spells to get cucked by and not very fast movement speed. Doesn't feel good. Bird! And also you get the spell casting initiative, I guess, yeah. But in general, the very fast movement speed is amazing. Upgrading a paladin is expensive. I don't actually know. I don't have that memory that it is. I don't think it is. I don't think upgrading a paladin is expensive to Crusader. I might be wrong. I don't think so. Phoenix. Hey, Parrot. Hey, Kazak. Phoenixes are great. Ultra movement speed. I'd say, like... My one issue with the Phoenixes is that their health pool sucks. At least in Heroes 2, they have elemental immunity. Not towards Armageddon or Magic Era, but they can't get hit by any, like, cold, fire, and lightning. But they can be hit by blind, paralyzed, everything else. Their ultra fast speed helps a ton. They're definitely A+. But I do not like their 100 health. They are very cheap. 1,500 and one Mercury. They add mulage. You can spread them out easily. I think it deserves to be an S. They die easily, but since they go fast and early. It's just that ultra speed, you know? Allows you to split the stacks and just keep going first. Yeah, no, they're S. They're S. Like, I love to hate birds. Because of their weak hit points, but they really do good though. You can, if you have a decent amount of phoenixes, you can spread them out to 3 stacks and you can go first with every phoenix. You can also use them to mule across and potentially safe as well. Not that you'd like to use them for each mule, it's going to be less phoenixes. Definitely A+. S is a little, I don't know, man. They're not comparable to a black dragon in a way, so maybe put them to A+. I'll put them to A+. Like it. If they had like 20 more HP. You like the placement of ghosts? Yeah, they're not. I feel it's fitting. They don't deserve to be on the list. And they're definitely S+, so. How many do you get from a red tower? I do think you get the normal amounts. 1 + 2 with well, right? 3. Or do you get 4? No, I still think you just get 3. Other tier lists have a god tier, Heroes 2 has a ghost tier. Exactly. Pikeman. Hello! I'm a pikeman. Sure you are. You are a basic Joe. You don't do much for me. I don't care much to use you in general. You're just there as a start, as a go. You're a D. You're alright, mate. You're alright, but that's it. Nothing special. Next one is the Power Lich. Okay, so if you're already using Liches, I guess at least getting the very fast movement speed helps a bunch. Okay, well now I'm gonna commit to this. I'm gonna put these stupid Liches into 1 tier lower. Upsy daisies. Again, these power leeches cost a lot. I don't know if they deserve to be in with these dudes. The very fast helps them create a little bit more of a room. Which is like the only very fast units the Necros can have. So they have a purpose in that regard. Yeah, you can see all the pixels up close now. There's a lot of details you can watch. I think that's fair. You can even argument for like the why would you use liches instead of power liches and put them even lower, but no, I think that's... I mean, actually, compared to where we have the rest of the archers and shooters, it kind of fits that they go alongside these guys. But at least they're fast, not very slow like these. That's okay. We'll keep it like that. Let ogres wear helmets. Yeah, and the very long face. That's fair. The very fast movement speed helps a lot there. Alright, cool. Next up is Prangers. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, that was you? No. Who is this? It's a dud. Okay, a dud layer. I made too many. There you go. A ranger. Rangers are a big upgrade from the basic archers because they shoot twice and they have 2 better movement speed. And you can get them pretty early on. I think they go up to A at this point. Yeah, I think Rangers really provide a lot. It's only average, but you get them pretty early on. They're comparable to the Gargoyles, but the Gargoyles are a little bit better than the Rangers, to be fair. But I feel like they should be A. So, yeah, like getting the Rangers compared to having the Archers, it's such a big change or turn in like prowess. So they deserve to be an A. I would still say the Grand Elves have an even higher because of the very fast movement speed. They're very good like that. You have to get Druids first before you can buy them, but then again, it's not an A plus maybe, so... They might go into an A plus with the Elves later on. We'll see when we do a final go around and re-justify everything here. Let's see, let's do another... Let's go back to grass theme. Okay. I didn't... Wait, what's this one? Ranger layer 21. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's Red Dragon. I already mentioned this. Red Dragon still goes into the same tier as Black Dragon. It's not much of a difference. And the good thing about the Red Dragons is that they have the same... You get Red Dragons from the Dragon Utopia. So if you stick to just having Red Dragons, it's totally fine. They still have fast movement speed. They have 250 health, slightly stronger than the Green Dragons. You do pretty well just keeping Red Dragons. So, yeah, they deserve to be in the same tier as the Black Dragons. I put Green Dragons in A+. They might deserve to still be in S, but there's such a difference in like the Green to the Black Dragons. I'm saying, like, that's alright. Put him in S. And they just like they're so insanely strong at this point, so that fits. Oh, did I do the thing again? Sorry, I saved. I automatically control S everything. I'm been good trying not to do it, but I'm not perfect. Wait, who's this? No. He snuck in there. Peasants. Why are you sneaking there? Now for everybody's been waiting for the peasants. Where do I place the peasants? Now granted. Yeah, I can share the image on Discord when I'm done. Yeah, good point, Sarek. Feel free to remind me. Theoretically, this is the worst unit in the game. Theoretically. Now hear me out. Knights get a lot of peasants when you get them. Alright? Compared to goblins, you tend to be able to have double the amount of peasants than you have the goblins. If you have around the same amount of units. And heroes on the map. So, while peasants suck, you can actually have a potential for them. But it's a potential. It's a use case. If they get hit, you're dead. But since you get like everything from like 35 to 40, how much can you get for peasants for a knight? Like up to at least 45 or more, I think. They do not go in F. They do not go in E. They at least go in D. Because they actually serve a purpose for value. Hear me out. You get a lot of them if you have knights. So there's a lot of scenarios I've had where I suddenly have like 170 peasants. Because I just buy 5 knight units and suddenly I have a shit ton. You get around half of that for goblins if you're buying barbarians. So they're slightly stronger. The average speed is better. You can use more kiting. But you can get some power stacks because you can use them to like have a range unit on your team. They get next to the peasants, 170 peasants, and that's actually pretty good damage. So they go in D. Their value is very good. Use case is low, but compared to how much you can get for not really wanting to buy them, pretty good. Yeah, for Necros, they are S tier because they turn into skeletons really well. But no, I do think peasants go into D tier. Like, I probably use peasants as much or more than I use pikemen, right? So... How do I do rendering rangers before peasants? I don't know what happened. The peasants were down here. I don't know what happened. I was drunk when I made this, apparently. Hey, Fina. Rocks. Now, rocks are really good because they're like the saving grace for wizards. Rocks is like the pillar of survival for wizards. At least on impossible difficulty. You can get them without having to. They just cost gold to buy the resource, to buy the recruitment center. And they're flying. They got 40 HP. So you can take some heat off your halflings. They're a really nice unit to have. They serve a great purpose for the wizards. Do we put them into A? At least B? But if I put them into B, I feel like I'm going to push something down here. No. And again, I'm sticking to my theme of like, how happy am I to see a rock? To use a rock? Pretty happy. Pretty happy to use a rock. He goes into A. Rocks are so tanky compared to griffins. Yeah, griffins have like 25, right? They have 40. Sure, griffins can counterattack forever, but... Oh, God. The mustached rogues. We should give them a bigger mustache, to be honest. There we go. And more sunglasses instead. Yes. Let's keep them like that. Rogues. I really don't like using rogues. Like, sure, they have no counterattack to them. They're fast movement speed, which is good. You can buy a lot of them from the rogue encampments. So that's the bonus thing, is that when you find them, you usually can buy like at least 50 of them. So that has a decent use case to it. But they're 3 health. I think it is 3 health. Insanely low. And they're neutral, so they don't fit into the faction category. Don't find myself using them a lot. But they have a decent strength to it. I'm not too angry seeing rogues nearby. I don't tend to buy them. Go and see. Oh, there's a reveal enemy unit numbers in here too? Oh, do they? Cool. I'll see if I can remember that. Probably won't. Only heroes 3? Okay. This royal mummy. So at least they're faster than the other mummy. And I think their stats are... I don't know exactly how much better their stats are, to be honest, but they're decent. Slightly more tanky. Tend to use them in the base defense scenario, but they're not like ultimate base defenders anyway. They're pretty alright. But they just go into the alright category, don't they? But then again, Ogre Lords with very slow ones up here. I'll put them in here. Yeah. 5 more health, okay. Probably some stats as well. Defense, attack. There's a big difference when you can get fast from... Like, average to fast is difference from reaching the enemy in 1 turn. Oh, in 2 turns compared to 3. So a fast unit can go there, and then you can go into their ranged on the second. An average unit needs to do another round, which is why it's a big difference between having a slightly weaker and also a 3-round reach. So 2 round is much better. Mummy Death Animations peak cinema. They just unravel, right? We're the last line. Skeletons! Skeletons! My beloved. Even without necromancy, skeletons provide a decent bonage. So I'd already put them above goblins. But then necromancy is so insane. So just because necromancy exists and skeletons are cool, because skeletons are Skeletober's best friend, he goes up into here. He goes up into here. He goes... I don't know, man. He kind of feels like an A plus. You can get so many of them. Set them up for a necro. Ooh, I want to put them there. I am happy to see skeletons. God, are they cool. I feel like it's an injustice for me if I put them lower than A+. As much as I love skeletons. I can't put them in S, but I will gladly put them in A. These guys are great. It's all coming down to necromancy, but honestly, since they also don't rely on stupid morale, and they can just like be a giant stank of ever-growing boner dudes. And their design is just classic. Just a skeleton, angry guy with a bloody blade in the board. He's just happy to be here. Look at his smile. Yeah! Also, I don't know why he's got like a tongue. But, you know, let him have it. Maybe it's just blood. Yeah, it's just blood in his mouth. Why not S? It feels a little bit like I can definitely justify an A+, because like what I'm saying, but as if you don't get it with a necromancer, they're not that great. And, there are use cases around it. They probably go into like A or B even with necromancer, but since I love skeletons, they have to go higher because of that. So skeleton to A+. Feels good. A tongue stolen from someone else. Yeah, skellies are the best, man. Okay. Sprites. This is an interesting unit. Also, open your eyes. Why are you not... Come on, open up. I need to like... That's great. So, sprites are super weak, but no counterattack, which leaves a lot of room for combat in the beginning. Even later on, they're flying, so that's even more room for combat maneuverability. You get a decent amount of them, not too much, just a decent amount of them. So they fall fast, but since you can play around with having no counterattacks to them, that's really nice. I can still see myself using sprites later on. I think they go to A tier. I will happily use a sprite. I'm happy to get those gone. The only thing that keeps me from putting them higher is because average movement speed is not as insanely good. Since they're flying, they're going to get a lot of aggro if you don't have range units, so they're susceptible for damage. You don't get too many of them. The health is low. It's like... That's the problem. So... Yeah. Yeah, they don't go higher than A. They don't go higher than A. There's just like too many times will sprites be killed instantly. So, it's unfortunate. You think it's A+ minimum? I just, in the beginning they're fine, but also the average is not gonna keep them even higher, man. That's true, they have 2 dwellings you can get. That is also a good idea. Like, there is a lot of times you can stack them better because of their tree house and what's the other one called? There's tree house, one you can purchase and one's for free. I also wonder, why did they do that with the sprites? Sprite City? It's so weird that they did that only for the sprites. Right? That's the only unit that has like 2. One of each. Because they're so cool. I still don't know if I want to put them in A+ though. You thought sorcerers would be too weak early game units, but they're really not though. But they didn't really have a great idea of balance. Anyway, so I guess it's fine. A is okay. A is fine. It's a good argument with the 2 dwellings. I don't know. Yeah, they're very close to being A+. Let's think. Let's think on it. Let's think on that. Next one is Stealthygolems. I mean, they're basically golems in the same use case scenario. They're just 1 extra movement speed. They don't change much use case. So, I think they just fall into the same box. Really. Going to see. They're strong. They're strong, but, you know, Hydras. That's a cooler base defender. Fuck that. Okay. Next one is the basic swordsman. Swordsman. Ah, what a boring unit. It's alright, but I'd rather use a Master Swordsman. Average speed, again, the issues of having to reach the range units by 3 rounds instead of 2. Go into the same argument as the other guys over here. It's like, I put the Minotaur there, though. Do I feel comfortable with that? I mean, it's a base defender in a way that's similar to the Ogre. To this guy. But the Minotaur King should be used instead. Knights, many bad units. They're just so unfortunately balanced. Like, they start with 2 very slow units. The peasants and the archers. And then you go into another melee unit that's average speed. And then you get to another unit that's average speed. You can upgrade them to make them both fast speed, but still not very fast. Now until you get to cavalry, which is very fast and ultra fast, and then the Paladins Crusaders. But they're all ground units, no flying. It's a very weak range units. It's just unfortunate. They should have at least had like... They should have had the archer be average speed and very fast. So they at least have like a range dude that's pretty good. But they don't even get that. Yeah, also upgrades with insane amount of lumber. But that's the same thing for barbarians. I mean, they can't even skip it. They can't even skip cavalry to get to Crusaders. They have to get all the way through. How much rock do you need for the entire... Like, you need... I think it's 10... Is it 10 rock and... No, it's only 10 lumber for the orcs, right? But then it's 10 rock for the ogres. It's 20 rocks for the cyclops. And then it's 30 rock for the... So that's already 60. 60 rock. To get to Cyclops. Wolves are free. You don't also need to buy wolves, I think. Yeah, they are early good. Same with barbarians, but I would say the barbarians are probably even better early. See, here's the difference. Barbarians are probably a little bit better early, but you can get a lot of peasants with knights, so that's good. But then when knights can more quickly get the last tier than what orcs can get the last tier. So if you have resources nearby, the knights will scale the fastest to a strong unit, while barbarians will like be a little bit slower. So they're similar, but the wolves kind of give you a little bit of an edge for barbarians, because with knights you have to go into like basic archer, then buy tavern to get veterans. No, wait, you can buy swordsman after archery range, maybe. I know that you need like huts. You need at least tavern for the swordsman. You at least need to get more of these things, but still kind of slowly build up. But you can skip cavalry and go directly into a cathedral, which is also less expensive than the other Cyclops thing. So yeah, rush to Crusaders is like the knight's way to go. But even then, you're gonna sit outside of the sieging castle, right, and just sit there and get hit. And if you don't have a lot of units, your knights, your Crusaders are still gonna get hit by the tower. You're fucked. What program do I use for this? This is PaintNet. Paint.net. I've used this program forever. Many years now. It's not an advanced thing, but it gets the job done. And since I know most of the hotkeys, I'm quite comfortable with using it. So it's like a lot of people say, use GIMP. And other people say Photoshop. But Photoshop is too expensive. GIMP seems fine. But I'm just like, well, I'm not going to learn a new program if I don't need it, so. Titans! Now, we should have to have a conversation down here. You. Why did you do this to me? Why are you so difficult? Why did you have to be bugged? I am great. But you suck. You're average. You're melee. You make me cost more than me initially. What did you do to me? But at least, if he stands alone, a Titan stands alone. He goes from F. He goes to E. He goes to D. He goes to C. He goes to B. He goes to A. He goes to A+. He goes to S. He goes all the way to the top. Because Titans are insanely tanky. They're expensive as fuck to get. But insanely tanky, and they get the range aggro good stuff. Which means that they will, if you have somebody that's not as good on your team, and most likely the strength of the HP of the Titans will be enough to get the aggro. You can have weaker range units or whatever other units you have flying not get aggroed. Unless they're using spells of stack size, but they are providing so much to your team, and they are ranged to chill. Strongest range units, can tank forever. Really nice unit to have. If you have Titans, you feel like you're gonna win the game. So yeah, it has Bless on them. Bless is really good. Their attack doesn't really go sky high, though. That's not really what you think when you play Titans. Because you need, like, you can have 5 Titans and you hit them, and it's like, yeah, you gotta do decent damage, but you just get a lot of staying power. A lot of staying power with the Titans. So, they go into S. The reason why they're bugged, Marto. So let me see if I can get the number correct. So a Titan costs I think a Titan costs 5,000 and 2 gems, right? You can buy a... you can buy a giant, which costs 2,501 gem, I think. So that's already pretty expensive for pretty units. If you want to upgrade a giant to a Titan, it costs 6,000 gold and 2 more gems. So it costs more to upgrade a giant to a Titan. So you already have a useless unit, which is way too expensive. And then it's not even worth to upgrade him into a Titan unless you're loaded. That's why this guy is an F tier, because even the upgrade doesn't even make sense. If you have a giant, you're fucked. So they bugged his upgrade setup. So, poor giants at the bottom. Hear you out. I will hear you out. You're confused about the peasants though? One giant is better than one mutant zombie. No. As I said, this is a list based on like use case scenario and value and how much I tend to use them. I tend to use mutated zombies more than I use the giants, and the giant is too expensive and it's too lame, too unattractive. Meanwhile, you can use a mutant zombie to do some decent stuff. He can do something. He's weak, but you can make him tank. You can go out with him and tank a stack. Take a basic stack of units and then like, okay, he dies a lot, but then at least you can use him for that. Using a giant in that regard is just basically wasting something that could have been a Titan. Or, I mean, he might die, he might not die, but it's too, you buy him and you already screw yourself by not getting the Titan benefit. So, yeah. They have a cool sprite. They get that. But Titans are even cooler, so... Ogres! No, trolls, sorry. It could have been an email. It could have been an email. Okay, trolls, they're tanky. They're strong range units. I like to use them, they're fine. They at least go here as far as like use case stuff. At this point, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some changes here. Master Swordsman. Ogre Lords, they don't feel like they fit in the same thing. But that's the thing, is like, you get this one later on and you'd rather have them have the upgraded troll. Because the 40 bonus as well. I think it does the regular, no, this one does not regen health per round. It's only the upgrade that gets the max, that tops up the HP, right? So it feels fine to put him in B, and then we can get the ogre warlord, the troll. Where's the W? Why is it there? What's it called again? Next to water, Woger, war troll. That's the one. Put that in A. Unicorns! I have very rarely used unicorns, but I see their potential. They're just because I'm playing on Impossible, I just tend to not have enough money to invest into that when I can have range units as a focus, sprites for counterattack stuff, and then just getting phoenixes. So I don't tend to use unicorns that much, but I recognize they have a decent strength. They have a decent strength. So their blind per hit is pretty nice. I'll put them in B. Could put them in A, but this is my list. I feel like they might deserve to be up there, but I'm way more happy to use these in general when I see them. I'm gonna keep them in A, to be honest. No, in B. They can be game winning with blind. Yeah, I hate to rely on that though. I hate relying on things that could be like same thing with the Cyclops. It's just too unreliable. Heroes 2 portrait tier list. That's a fun idea. It feels a little bit rude though, isn't it? It feels a bit bad to judge like what's the best portrait. That could be fun. I have to do it in a respectful way. Antoine, but Antoine isn't in Heroes 2. I think they removed Antoine. Right? Antoine is Heroes 1. I'll put a unicorn in B. That's my list. It feels like that. Vampires! Whoa! Problem is, you compared to your friend Super Vamp, you're good early on, before we can buy Vampire Lords. I'd still give him a decent go here. Vampires, they're flying. They're decently strong. Tier 4 units. You can't drain life with these. They're really nice because they're like they got a lot of HP. They still got 40, right? Unupgraded. Or is it 35? I think they got 40 still unupgraded. So they have a similar vibe to the Rock. You hate to use them because they can be Vampire Lords. But I feel like they're still A. You say, yeah, the thing is, that's a problem with Safe. It's like the upgraded building is fairly cheap, but not if you play Impossible a lot, because that's what I have done, right? But, so I start with 0. And I have to find 10 gems and 10 crystal. That's a tall order for me, and I can still use vampires, basic vampires, a lot. If you play on normal, you don't need to use gems or crystal from the get-go, so you can easily buy a vampire lord as soon as you want to. He's got 30 HP versus 40 HP. Oh. And rocks have 40. Yeah, let's put them down into B then, with the druids and the elves. Put them down to B. Alright. Next one. Vampire Lordess. This is not... Wait, who is this? Another dud? Another dud. Ah, here he is. Beaver Bleh. Of course, Vampire Lord goes straight to the top. The Drain Life ability will make you win any game. Any game with a decent precaution. You drain any living thing, any dead thing. It can be an elemental. It can be a bone. It could be itself. It could be a ghost. Heal, drain, anything. So this guy goes to S tier. And probably would even go S+. But if I would have like multiple score ratings, it'd probably be like Ghost is still at the very top. But I think I would like to put... That's the thing, is like compared to a Black Dragon, the magic immunity is so insane. Because that really helps you go on. Meanwhile, if you do have Vampire Lords and you're facing a strong mage and you don't have anti-magic and you don't have animate dead, then it's suddenly tough again. But usually you find a way to move around the most dangerous things and then you can win everything else. So a Vampire Lord will, in most cases, with careful use, give you a win. So they also go into S tier. It's cool to see the Gargoyles in S tier compared to these guys. It is like a... Hey, how you doing, everybody? Hey, this is me, guys. My Gargoyle. How you doing? What's your name? Black Dragon. You're Black Dragon. Hello, how you doing? Okay, good to see you. Hey, what about you? Red Dragon. All right, buddy. Good to see you too. You're useful. Yeah, me too, man. I got promoted to S tier. Me too. I'm with you guys. Where, you know? Does he drain constructs? I don't know. Probably not. But we can't attack them, yeah, as Perchance says. There's no attacking catapults in this one. We got a few more units. The veteran pikeman. This is not a big deal. I feel like we go into the same category as these. But at this point, I kind of want to drop down the Master Swordsman to this layer too. I don't really see myself using these a lot. It's a C, right? It's an okay thing. I'm gonna drop him down. I'm gonna drop him down. I want to see my Heroes 3 tier list. I have to play so much Heroes 3 to remember the game, man. We will probably do it. Oh, it's lagging. Hold on. I need to save. The menu, it's starting to be less responsive. Sorry, I'll be blinking. Okay, who is this? Another nobody? No, it was this guy, okay. Vet Pike. What was the argument for the Gargoyle? I'll give you the arguments in a very short while, because we're almost done here, and then we can go over the list again. Stay tuned for a little bit more. We'll do some final arrangements and justifications. This is War Troll. Now, I already said where I'm going to put the War Troll. This goes into A. Like, it has 40 HP, and it has the top-up HP at the end of the round. So, in some cases, you can actually get this one to just tank siege catapult hits. I mean, to tank tower siege hits. To never lose a range unit. If you got good defense, then you just gotta, like, get shot at from the siege turrets, and then you can just, okay, it's fine, I'm gonna get it back up again. So, and decently other times as well, they just do a decent amount of damage, they tank a good amount. War Trolls deserve to be A, for sure. Not A+, but they go into A pretty well. You would say Master Swordsman Pike have the same usage for more than Orgalords? Masters have the same... I think, no, they're just so strong. They got 60 HP. They're beefier, man. What's an F and Y? We'll get to it, okay? Hold on. Water elemental. Again, this goes to the same argumentation that I had before. It's random to get them. You tend to not be able to stack them pretty high. I don't care too much for them. I like the air elemental because it's very fast movement speed, so I don't mind having more of them, so they're like easier to pick up. But here we go with fast, average, slow. I'm not too excited to see water elementals. And if anything, the thunder, this would be immune. Is it immune or just half damage air thunder stuff, right? If the enemy has chain lightning, they will use it. They also like using lightning bolts, so if anything, that has an advantage because it's like it's less prone to the most dangerous ones. But yeah, so the rest of them go in this location. Wolves. Wolves are actually pretty cool. Like, the biggest issue with the wolves is that they have low HP. But they cost 1,500 to buy the dwelling. The wolves themselves are pretty cheap. I think 100 each. Maybe 100, 150, I don't remember. And then they have the multi-attacks. So you can actually use this as a power stack pretty well. And since it doesn't cost lumber or ore, they do have a decently cool use case. I kind of want to put them in A. Yeah, they can be ravenous, man. They can die. They can die, but if you get them to like fight, and even you're not as likely to steal counterattacks from them enemies because they go so fast. But you use them to mule around, so you get an early unit for the orcs in general to walk around. So you have a decent amount of them, so it's easy to split. And they can be used as a power stack. So I'd say they go into A, yeah. They're definitely very useful units for the orcs. I hesitate to put them into A+. So A feels good. If I have to put them into A+, the sprites have to go into A+ too. The bards don't have other very fast units to soak the counterattack. That's the problem that I just mentioned as well. Like, they really don't have... I just said it, but they usually can't get the soaks first because they go first. So it's like, they would be good, but it's not likely. Alright. And fittingly, zombies at the end here. Ugh. What a disappointment. More flies. They stink. They go stinky tier. Low defense. Very slow movement speed. Holy moly, I hate to use these guys. F. Screw them. Also, why did they lose their hair on the mutated zombies? They couldn't even hang on to one redeeming quality. S stinky tier. That means we're done! We have one in E. That's a really weird like setup, but I mean, I feel like it was okay. Okay, let's go over it. Let's go over this one. Hold on. Alright, let's get some other music going. So, let me start out with explaining some things. and they're all in view. Okay, let me explain some things first. Again, I'll have to reiterate. This is a list, a tier list, based on my sense of usage scenarios. Like what I feel like is do I like to use this unit? Am I happy to see this unit? Do I think this unit has value? Right? It's a biased list, a personal list, not at all depending on like what their actual stats are, how cost effective it theoretically is compared to all that stuff. It is not based on that. I've played a bunch of heroes too, and now we played all the maps on Impossible. That's over 100 maps. I played all the campaigns, at least once. So after so much playing, I have a decent idea of what I like and what I don't like. So one of the oddball reasonings here, we'll go through all with the people that have asked about Gargoyles and also the Giants. I'll reiterate what I think about them. So the reason why Gargoyle is S tier is because it has so insane value early game. Use them against range units to kind of soak up damage. So you can just jump, you can spread out Gargoyles, jump into range units, they can take attacks, they got good defense, 15 HP, they can like even, sometimes you don't even lose a single Gargoyle by doing that. So your sensor can shoot freely. They're pretty cheap, you get them with your heroes as you buy Warlocks. Warlocks already have scouting, so you can do super quick scouting with mules, just because you have advanced scouting, plus you get a Gargoyle in your team. You can act first with the very fast movement speed as well, so you can just leave, or you can cast a spell and just leave immediately on top of that. So they just have a very, very strong early game, and one of the best early tier units at all, so they deserve to be at the top. Where's the ghost? You never seen the ghost? It's only, you can see them in like basic heroes too as well, like the certain like the shipwreck stuff. The reason why they're fucked and not on the list is because as soon as ghosts kill, for example, if a ghost kills 40 peasants, the ghosts are now 40 more ghosts forever. So you can make ghosts get into the thousands super early and just be insane. They're incredibly cooked. So they're just too good. So they're not even on this, they're just like dancing. I feel these justify themselves. Black Dragon, Red Dragon, Titans, they're S tier units, highest tier units, they're just strong as fuck. And Vampire Lords, the drain life on anything will make you win most scenarios. Only fail against certain spellcasters, that's it. Or a very strong amount of stack of Black Dragons before you can actually take one down to regen. So that's S tier explained, and these ones pretty much go for itself. The champions, because ultra fast movement speed is really nice. Same thing with the Phoenix. The genies are just cheap units. If you find them, you can always get a use for them. Green dragons, I would like to put them in S with the average move speed, and also potentially being able to lose them before you get black or red dragons is bad. So you tend to always want to use genies when you find them. And it also has the added benefit of having a 10% chance to half a stack. So there's always a chance that you can just bring one genie into a fight and just like, Hail Mary, let's see. You still don't lose much because it's very fast and goes early. You can even just put them in there to tank and like... So, genies you like to see A+. There's always... You always want to use a genie, basically, if you find them. Compared to a rogue, if you find a random rogue encampment, you're not... Oh, fuck, I'm not gonna buy rogues. Skeletons, because of necromancy and because they're bones, skeletons are just inherently awesome. So that's +1, and necromancy, they get plus everything. So the genies aren't strong, they got 50 HP and they die pretty quickly. But as I mentioned, they're scattered on the map, they cost 1 gem and 400 gold each or something. Super cheap. So they're insanely worth the value, and you always find a use for them. So that's what there is. This one, A, is like bone dragons are really cool. They are not the best unit, but since they can die so quickly with 150 health, they have the negative morale to enemies. They're okay. Catapult, you can't win without a catapult sometimes. Catapult deserves to be there. Crusaders, the double attack and hit can be a good power stack, even though they're kind of weak. I'm not gonna go for everyone here, but I'm gonna go for the ones that stand out. Nomads also pretty cheap. You can get a pretty decent stack of them if you find them out in the wild. Sprites, the flying and the no counterattacks kind of almost allow them to be. I'll just do a new there. They almost allow them to be A+. Oh wow, look at the drawing speed. There's too many layers in this sprite. So they could have even gone here, but since they're so fragile, I didn't want to do that. Wolves can also be a decent stack. The reason why the Archmage is in the same as the Mage is because he's an asshole for requiring Mage Guild level 2. I don't like that. That's the same case for the Power Lich though, right? So he goes in the same one as Mage because it's just too expensive. He's definitely better than the Mage, but because of the high damage and the no melee penalty. Cavalry is okay. Probably doesn't even deserve to be in B. The Boar is there in B because I feel like the Boar could even go to A, but there is an argument to make for the Boar being higher. I'm not necessarily going to do it, but the argument is that it's a very fast unit for the wizards early on. They don't cost much. You can also get them on the basic hero. It allows them to mule a lot. I wouldn't be upset if we put them in A, to be honest. But it feels a bit weird, because later on they have almost no power. Like, you can't really utilize them almost at all later in the game. They're just too weak to do any, they don't have damage, they don't have the tankiness. But early on they provide muling and going first. Ballistics in A, of course. Some people will be dead without the ballistics. Imagine knights, you couldn't do anything. Yeah, they're blockers, but at the same time, it's like they need to still go twice before they can block. Which is different from the Gargoyles. We can just go and block immediately. You still think they would be in B, even though they have the use case. Yeah, there's a weak A and a strong B. Let's just have him there. Archdruids is the same because, as I said before, they're expensive to upgrade and they don't really provide a very good upgrade. Instead they have very fast movement speed. You have to get the Mage Guild level 2 to upgrade them, right? So that's annoying, expensive stuff. If you're going to have a lot of resources anyway, it's fantastic, but Griffins, cheap to buy, cheap to get. All the counterattacks are fine, but they die anyway after a while. If they're in basically, if they're in a position where they have to counterattack everything, you're most likely losing stacks, and eventually will lose them anyway, so it's not that impressive. Like, wow, look at them counterattacking everything. Yeah, but you're also losing like 5 to 7 Griffins every time you fight. Hydra's insanely good base defenders and no counterattack, really good, blah, 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 blah. It's so like, nothing here sticks out too crazily. And now we're in the boring tier anyway. The Bat Dwarves are both in C because they still have 20 health and good base defenders, not a big difference. Same here. Halflings. I fucking mustache. Decent. Barely like to use them. Centaurs because they die too fast. They don't really do much damage. Archers, very slow movement speed. Hate it. I felt like orcs were stronger than archers, but not really a big difference. So, nope. Boring, boring, boring. And then E, because we probably should have a more versatile E. But this felt right to me when I made it, so... The thing is, I would actually probably put giants in E, but I think because of the bug, and then it's an insult, which is why I'm putting this guy in F. I get, as I said in the beginning, I got upset. I get upset when I see a giant and not a titan. And this is a personal list. This guy falls down because he annoys me. No peasants. The reasoning for why peasants are not in the worst one is, again, they could be E, but I got them to a D because I want to show them there's some love here. The reasoning is simple. Is that you tend to get a lot of them when you use knights. So you get around 40 every time you have a knight. So you have 3 knight heroes, you're already up to over 100 peasants. And the good thing about that is that you can bait with 1 archer as a flying unit or whatever to go get them. And you can have a pretty high hitting unit without ever needing to purchase it. So they still have a use case because you never need to then tend to buy them to still have a stack of them to do damage. So they maybe should be in E, but I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them some use case up to D. Because if you're going barbarians, yeah, you do get a decent amount of goblins buying barbarians as well, but half as much or less than that, right? So peasants have a purpose. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, but that I would say that almost is the same thing for the goblins. They have, if they get hit, if goblins get hit, they also die immediately. So the peasants and the goblins have the same category, except that goblins can at least do average movement speed. But at the same time, if you think about it, sometimes actually being very slow is better. Because now you can have the peasants next to the thing that's going to be attacked on your side. There's rocks with movement speed medium, there's griffins with medium. There's so much with medium movement speed that can fly. Vampires are fast and blah blah, so you have to like... These will make sure that they will, at the end of the round, they will hit. And most likely you can do a remove a counterattack, so the peasants can actually not get countered. So there is a use case, and you don't need to buy many of them. That's why I want to put them higher than, at least higher than F. But facing peasants, that's the easiest thing in the world. Right? Playing against peasants, that's the easiest, most weakest, idiotic unit ever. But I'm saying there's a use case to use them. Alright. That's the list. I will publish this list in Discord for those who asked. Let's see here. I need to change this. Oh, I need to label it before. I need to label it like so you can't steal it. I have to do that. It's important you can see my list if you share it, right? Where's the text thing? There it is. Whoa. All right. Let's calm down here. Stealthygolem. And then we need text. Person. Oh god. Personal unit tier list. That looks awful. I hate it. I can go into each box. There, you got it. Perfect. But then the person is too big. Biased unit tier list. There you go. Whoa, that wasn't the same thing. There it is. Graphic design is my passion. I'm so good at it though. There you go. Fixed. Sorry about the blinking, but that's just for some reason capturing it is weird. Alright, I'll put it in Discord. Where should I put it? I'll put it in video games. Heroes. Tier lists. Now, you can peruse it for yourself if you want to. And now everybody can be upset about it. Alright, that settles the tier list.